Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity with me, Bring It On. Let's continue fighting our way through the Sanitarium.
Hey.
I'm ready.
Oh, that flesh construct just got bullied.
Hey. Hey.
Yeah.
Yes? Hey.
Okay. I mean, I guess they were never meant to prevent proper adventurers or fighters from escaping. Which explains why they suck at fighting.
Be cautious. Be constant.
Well, that was a little disappointing.
Light, flame, and sound.
Alright, let's see how the rest of the Sanitarium is faring. I'm pretty sure I killed all the flesh constructs we saw on the way in. So everyone else should be okay.
Right.
Well, Ripley is gone. Let's check on Belisage and Modred. She's still worried about her notes. There we go. The head warden must be told what's going on down here. Oh, that's what I'm working on. I'm getting out of here. It's not safe anymore. I'd argue that it was never really safe, with Azo in charge. Which is a problem we rectified. What the blazes happened down there? You're given permission to ask questions. I didn't kill him. The soul leapt out of the body, and the body died. It's complicated. A patient of yours, Uskrim, was working for the Leaden Key, only without knowing it. You finish your explanation, nothing more breaks his silence. I've read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief, and never reliable. Some go as far as to suggest that they were all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again, and could be of some real use in our time of need. I fear what the future may hold for this place. I am grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before there was loss of innocent life. I don't think that's the case. There were dead patients downstairs. We very nearly had another scandal in our hands. What of Azo? What part did his experiments play in this catastrophe? I confronted Azo. I was forced to kill him. He groans in disgust. Such a waste. There's none more gifted working here. In time, I'd hoped to rehabilitate his image. But a mind like his, so full of ideas, leaves little room for patience. I would inquire more into the matter, but in truth you have done this institution a favor. Were his transgressions ever to reach the public, there'd be a terrible uproar. I was blind to have trusted him a second time. His tone takes an ominous quality that reverberates all around you. I trust you'll be more cautious in future inquiries.
Good day to you.
And I guess, is that it for the quest? Yep, looks like it.
Well met, friend.
I beg your pardon. I have a message for you. You're summoned to Hadrit House, where Lady Webb wishes to meet with you as soon as possible. Not much you can do in these parts without Lady Webb knowing about it. At least that's what I'd always heard. Guess it's true. Tell me about Lady Webb. Do you not know Lady Webb? She's, well, no one's seen her, exactly, in a long time. But she's the mistress of Dunnard Row. Has been for as long as anyone can remember. He pauses, eyeing passers-by with suspicion. Quietly, he continues. She's supposed to be old. Older than anybody. But she never leaves her room. Some say she's wasted away, and she's just a pile of bones kept animated by dark magics. She's still at it, best anyone can tell. Learning things. Keeping us safe. Pulling the strings behind the throne too, it said. As the Ring of Ciphers doing her bidding, telling her everything that goes on. You do wrong in this country, before you go asking the gods for forgiveness. Best you ask Lady Webb first. Now what's Dunnard Row? A whole mess of ciphers, run out of Hadrit House. They make it their business to keep the peace, but they don't like you to see them do it. Problems in this city have a way of going away on their own, and when that happens, you can make a pretty good guess as to why. Where can I find Hadrit House? It's just over there, my lord. The southwest corner of Brackenbury. You'll find the lady upstairs. How did you know where to find me? Well, it's Lady Webb. She knows everything. Very well. Alright, let's
Hey,
pay
Can I,
a visit to Lady Webb.
talk to your, your friend? What is it about Isilmir? I'm right here, you know. No, you're both great. It's just, well, I feel like I don't get to spend as much time with her, and she's just so funny. I mean, some of the things she says are not nearly as funny when you've been hearing them for 50 years.
As you near the apparition, you're overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than the emotion itself. It wrenches your insides nevertheless. The apparition's brow is tensed, a look of concern plain across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
My mind has been elsewhere.
Oh? And what troubles you?
The apparition raises its eyebrows. The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment as though you're about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence. I wish to leave the order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
I'm not sure which option to take. The people we intended to convert, they committed unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. The apparition exhales slowly, and its lips press together, a sympathetic rapport in its eyes. It places its hand on your shoulder.
These are the ways of the heathen world.
Surely the gods would do better to destroy us all and start anew.
Perhaps they would. It may come to that one day. This is why we must not fail. The heathens are beyond the gods' reach. They do not know better. We are tasked with delivering them to the gods, so that the gods may heal their souls.
The man chuckles mirthlessly. Is such a thing possible?
I have seen it with my own eyes. You will see it too, if you choose to remain.
The specter smiles warily.
There is no greater calling than the one we have chosen. Neither words, nor wealth, nor battle will end this suffering. Only the gods. Will you give them that chance?
The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and anxiety is replaced with something else entirely. Something warm and soothing, and it is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will. Alright, Lady Web will see you now. Fantastic.
Steady does it.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
I'm here. I'm on the trail.
Yeah.
The notes are scribbled in a cryptic shorthand. This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, her flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age, a gossamer veil over pale blue veins. Ink splotches and candle burns dot and stripe her hands, like a quilt patterned after some great, indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
She glances up from her readings for the first time and looks you over. Think she saw your little romp in the salty mask too?
And this fiasco in the Sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
I'm investigating a strange group.
Strange does not begin to describe them. The practices of the Leaden Key defy all reason. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
I ran across a man in one of the ruins. It's important that I find him again. She closes her eyes, and the lids flicker, and her face goes still, and her mouth parts, little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground, the pages wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back, and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men, Aora has ever known.
Shoot, was it pronounced Theos? How do you know I seek Theos?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. It must have been a special occasion.
What can you tell me about Theos?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The leaden key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it. What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man, awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
How do you know so much about Theos?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
She looks down at her hand, rubbing an old scar. What else is there to know about the leaden key?
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know, if you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary, and he does not fail.
What do you want from me?
Keep me informed. The leaden key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you. Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
And if I refuse?
Then you would look foolish because it is a standing offer. There is no need to refuse. If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
There is something I can tell you about the leaden key's operations.
Well, let's hear it.
I found Theos in Brackenbury Sanitarium impersonating a patient. He's trying to damage the public's opinion of animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious.
Eyebrows raise. She painted lines over barren, sloughing skin. Her forehead a lattice of wrinkles upon wrinkles. The corner of her mouth perks.
He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
That's all. Its progress is encouraging. I only hope that we are not too late. I have other questions.
Yes?
Tell me more about Dunreed Row.
All the things there are to know in this world, and you ask me about work. Deerwood is a rebel country. Conflict is in its blood. If you think a few guards posted in our cities keep chaos at bay, you are very new to town indeed.
She shakes her head irritably.
We are Deerwood's cipher investigators, of course. But what we really are is its last barrier against anarchy. People are more at ease when they believe they are watched over by someone more enlightened than they are. It pacifies them. So that is the image we foster. And we do try to be enlightened for their sake. The knowledge we gather here is Deerwood's standing army in many ways. We learn what's vital and we act on it while Deerwood sleeps, blissfully unaware of the terrifying truths all around them. I wish I could tell people the things I know sometimes. But the truth is, I don't think many of them could bear it.
How did you come to be here?
Me? I started this place, in a different time, under a different duke. I impressed the duke with my research and my work ethic, and he became possessed of the notion that I would be ideal to lead a secret network of gifted investigators. I don't know how such an idea got into his head.
She winks. How old are you? He gives a half-hearted gasp and covers her mouth with her crumpled fingers. You wicked man. Where are your manners? Were you raised without a shred of decency?
I lost count ages ago. Such a strange thing to celebrate, getting closer to death. Oh, I've had my share of work done to prolong my existence, if that's what you're wondering. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not done here. There are things I still wish to learn. And I'll be the effigy if I let Bereth carry me off before I'm through.
She drops the facade.
There was a time when I considered enlisting the theorems of Pondgrum to extend my life indefinitely. I found the thought of devouring my political enemies to sustain my own life greatly appealing. I must have gone soft with age.
Are you psychic?
If you are hoping I can look at your hand and tell you whom you should marry, you can just wipe that notion from your mind. I do not know what will happen tomorrow. That is what I pay spies for. Being a cipher is not unlike being a watcher. You notice more about what is already there. Many can hold an object and know where it's been, or peer into the thoughts of people around them. They can also sometimes affect those thoughts, but that would be unethical, of course. A tiny, talented few pick up so much about the world around them, they can get images of things to come, but these are fleeting and unreliable.
She cocks a painted eyebrow. You said you don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Who said I was talented? I don't. Least not that I can trust. And with me, it's only ever about one thing anyway.
What's that?
A quiet day at home.
She glances back behind her toward a small table, and a queer smile finds its way across her face. Is there a Lord Webb?
There was.
What happened to him?
He believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned that way, my husband. We saw the world very differently, he and I. But he was good to me while he lasted.
Let's talk about something else.
Yes?
Oh, that's it. Farewell.
Try your best not to die out there.
Done a good job of it so far. Alright, I think we're all set to go towards the tower in Heritage Hill. I'm always tempted to hire more hirelings, but there's always a chance I'm going to run across some of those. I don't know if they're unique or not. I guess those random encounter hirelings. The massive stone door of the tower is sealed. There doesn't appear to be any way of opening it. Speak the words you learned from the Leaden Key Acolyte. You hear rumbles and clanks from hidden tumblers as the door unlocks. And in we go.
Stones the next.
Back this way, buddy. I look like everybody took a little bit of damage there.
Keeping quiet.
I'll take a look.
Couple of pages from Aldhelm's journal. Day 7. Week of study, and we're still none the wiser about this device. Trendig remains optimistic. I don't know what I'd do without his spirit. Trendig's letter. Dearest mother and father, you'll be pleased to hear that I've learned much already since coming to the city. There are many incredible ruins nearby. Master Greg has allowed me to accompany him on a number of expeditions. I'm writing to you from inside an ancient Gwithan tower. There's an entire district built up around it, but the locals have mostly left the tower untouched. They've let us set up temporary living quarters here, so our work can continue uninterrupted. It is an unsettling place at times, but Master Greg has been a constant comfort. He is quick to remind me that the things we learn from this tower may one day help us find a cure for Widewind's legacy. I better get some rest now. Mr. Greg likes to get an early start to the day. All my love, Prindig. The mattress is lumpy and smells of old straw. Whoever slept here last made it neatly. Essence shimmers and pulsates within this strange device. Alright, I'm going to call the episode here, and the next one will continue through the tower. And see if we can't track down Aldhelm and Trindig. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.